Brett Veach does it again. An excellent pick at 85 overall as the Chiefs trade up to select Cal corner Nohl Williams. If you don't know much about Nohl, well, prepare to be amazed, my friends. Nohl Williams comes to the Kansas City Chiefs from Cal Berkeley, where he was one of the most productive players in all of college football. Your eyes are not deceiving you, my friends. 7 interceptions in 2024. How about 12 interceptions in the last 3 years? And 14 in his career, with 17 pass breakups last year as well. As the kids would say, he is him. And on top of that, too, not just a very good corner, but also has some kick return value as well. Mainly an outside corner with plenty of production, including those 7 interceptions we mentioned this past season. He offers some press man ability that usually boosts draft stock. Athletic testing was about as expected. Plenty of experience, 50 career starts, lacks elite size, and has been inconsistent as a run defender. He can be a bit stiff at times. He could probably play some nickel, but I would think that what the Kansas City Chiefs are potentially looking at here with Nohl Williams is they see his production, they see his experience at the outside corner spot, and they may be saying to themselves, well, all of a sudden we don't have to potentially pay Jalen Watson now because you just brought in Christian Fulton. Jalen Watson's contract's going to be coming up soon. Obviously, he missed most of last season with the injury, and you got to pay Trent McDuffie. And we know that Brett Veach, historically speaking, does not like to pay these defensive backs, these homegrown guys. He has never given a homegrown defensive back a second contract. Trent McDuffie will likely be the first. And so I look at this, and if all goes according to plan, in all likelihood, Nohl Williams is probably the Chiefs' replacement for Jalen Watson, in all honesty. How would you grade the pick of Nohl Williams? A, B, C, D, or F? Get your grade in the comment section. Let me know. What do you make of the selection of Nohl Williams? Way in the comments section. Give me your grade and let us know what your grade would be. We'll have a grades video later tonight, but we want to hear from you guys of what you would be your grade for this point. Chime in and let us know. Folks, this is why you subscribe to Kansas City Chiefs Report. We are breaking down every single pick. All right? And we're 2 days in, but we're not slowing down by any stretch of the imagination. We're going to do it all again tomorrow as well. And we're going to do it all again Sunday for you DFAs. Subscribe now. Tell 20 of your friends. Make sure they subscribe. We're getting close to 71,000 subscribers on the channel. Be a part of the journey, part of the movement here on the Chiefs Report. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. All right. Nohl Williams for me. I am so excited about this pick because I saw a guy that it just didn't add up. How much has he been ignored? Spent his first 3 years at UCLA. Goes to Cal, which, if we're going to be honest, isn't that great of a program. And the ACC now. But it's one of those things, is this guy just totally under the radar, forgotten about? What is missing here? Because the numbers speak for themselves. The Athletics' Dane Brugler said this: will need to prove he can overcome his average long speed against NFL competition, but there are far more pros than cons to his game, including his awareness, ball skills, and physical play demeanor. I think he'll stay at cornerback, but his game is reminiscent of another former Cal corner, Cam Bynum, is the comparison that is made there with him. More to come here on the Chiefs Report in a moment. But first, let's tell you about today's sponsor. That is GameTime. GameTime is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, GameTime has got you covered. GameTime, folks, I saved a lot of money on GameTime when I went to an NBA game recently with my family. And whether you're looking for tickets on short notice, GameTime's got you covered with that. And the ticket prices, they go down the closer it gets to when the event starts. If you enable their low prices enabled feature, that allows you to save money on tickets and invest more in buying food, drinks, merchandise, and more easily get a larger group to come with you. GameTime is the official ticketing partner of the Chiefs Report. You can save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. And GameTime Picks makes last-minute ticket buying easier than ever by quickly highlighting the best deals in the stadium. They have their zone deals. Save even more when you choose a section. Let GameTime choose the seats. They have their all-in pricing. Toggling this feature shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. They have their seat views. You can get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. The lowest price is guaranteed, or GameTime will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with those flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download the GameTime app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. So a few more minutes, and then we'll move on here, folks. But I got to tell you, I like this for Kansas City. And this puts you in a position where you're not at the mercy of Jalen Watson like you were last year. When he went down, this changed everything for this secondary, and we saw them fall apart. And believe me, I like Jalen Watson. I'm glad that he's playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. But look what happened when he was gone. Joshua Williams was awful. Najee Johnson was awful. And they did not get back on track in the secondary room until Jalen Watson returned for the postseason. And he still wasn't quite at full strength. So, with that said, you now have another option here. If something, even if, let's just say for all intents and purposes, Jalen Watson does get re-signed or sticks around, now I'm not at the mercy if he does get injured, if he does get banged up. I got other guys I could potentially count on now with Nohl Williams that have gotten it done before, that have potential to be good. His testing numbers about as expected. Bench at 19, pretty solid for a corner there. Runs a 4.5. Also, a 4.25 shuttle, 33.5-inch vertical there. And here's what you have so far for Kansas City. Simmons, Norman Lott, Gelati, and then Williams, your first 4 picks. I like the first 2. Third one I don't feel great about. This one I love. Brett Veach doing a really good job in this draft so far. Who do you want the Chiefs to draft next? Give us a player in the comment section that you'd like to see end up in Kansas City. Appreciate y'all joining us on this edition of the Chiefs Report. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. I'm Tyler Jones. We'll see you next time.